Hey guys, Rick here, and when you're 61 years of age, you don't have to build something that's going to last forever. This 10 by 12 shed here was built with 2x4 walls, studs on 16-inch centers, and even the roof trusses above were also done the same way. Hopefully you can see these, as it is quite dark in here. Now, the second one we're going to build is, in fact, the same exact structure, other than the part of it being on 24-inch centers. This is a Gambrel roof style shed that last year I built in July or August for about $1,500. And right beside it you will see a new one erected, and this is October 2018, so gonna be a lot cooler to build this one. And hopefully I'll get some help out here to erect the walls, since we're going to build the deck and then frame the walls and then stand them up. But a lot of people will say that the 24-inch center structures won't hold up as well as the 16-inch center structures. And of course, time is the culprit. But when you're in your 60s and you're looking at maybe living to 80, then it will last 20 years without a hitch because it's sitting on treated 4x4s, treated 2x6 lumber for the deck, floor deck as well. So this has a roof top addition, which is a ridge vent, and you might be able to see it up there. So this next one will be exactly the same. We always need more storage than we have, and by building a 10 by 12 you don't need a permit, so you can build as many as these you want. Cost of having two is probably more expensive than building a 20 by 12 or whatever it would be, whatever size to double that. But really need a bigger shop back here with a bigger place for motorcycle storage and stuff like that. But I did build my little chicken coop for $200, and it's held up quite nicely for the first year. Even got some chickens laying 4 eggs a day, and so that's really helpful if you love eggs. They're talking to us out here. This is Peeps. He's a Bantam chicken, so they said. I'm not sure. As big as that wing spread is there, he's a flyer for sure. His wings are longer than his body, and he flies much better than these chickens do. Peeps. He's always going tick, 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 tick. So he's we call him Peeps. Bantam Peeps. Peeps, Peeps. This chicken here, get over there. That's Big Bird. Big Bird. Big Bird. Big Bird. Big Bird. So I just want to give you an update on the new shed. The material should be shipped today, so I'll get out here and build a deck. I'll set up the camera so we'll be able to show the build, a few segments of the build, and if you need the information, it'll be here. Check out the next videos or two on the 10 by 12 Gambrel shed build. Alright, we've got the second bundle of lumber here for the second 10 by 12 shed. So let's get it moved over. Okay, we got the material back here, and we've already started building 2x6 treated lumber, 10 by 12, 4 by 4 treated on the ground with gravel underneath it. And now that we got the deck on there, 3/4 ply on across the 2x6 treated, we got it deck screwed down, and now we're marking out our gambrel roof, which is make a little template. These are all cut at 22.5 degrees so that they start right here at the edge. This will be your wall when it's standing up, and you draw it out to where, lay one down and draw the first one out to where it's straight, and then you put a couple of 2x4s, screw a couple of 2x4s down to where it'll make a little holder for it. Got your little roof template here for your trusses. Now once it's here, we're going to glue and screw some OSB here. So we're going to cut some triangles for the ridge and for these corners, and that way we'll do one side, lift it up, set it over, and basically do all of them on one side. Then we'll come back and flip them back over and do the other side. Either way, you can do them both at the same time or do them one at a time. There's going to be 7 of these roof trusses for this gambrel roof, and this is the toughest part about building a gambrel roof. But once you build one, you're going to have a lot more storage. As you can see, the extra storage up there is an incredible amount of storage, and if you've got a 4-foot section on each end of that 12-foot run, that gives you, 6 foot in the middle, that you have open access to where you can go on each side. And, well, what is it, not 6, but you got 4 feet, yeah, 4 feet in the center. Or you can make a 4-foot section on the back, and a 2, on this one it's got a 2-foot loft going across the front. So there is 6 foot there in between. You can use a step ladder to get up there. And the only thing I didn't do on this one is put some Z-bar on for the drip rail across the top wall, which is basically, I've caulked it inside so you don't see a bunch of caulk on the outside, but you really need some flashing across that one joint there that wasn't added. So other than that, we're blowing and going here. I got my next door neighbor helping me. So since this is on 24-inch centers instead of being 70 2x4s for this project, there's only 44. So that's a good thing. And I got my top plates over there, which are the bottom plate and top plates. We pieced together the bottom plate out of 2x4x8, and then an extra 2 foot to build the walls. But these are the top plates right here that you'll see for the 12-foot run and for the 10-foot run on the top of the wall. So you're going to interlock those top rails on your walls so that they interlock on each corner, and that'll help hold the building together as well. So once we get through these 7 trusses, we will start laying out the walls, and then I'll be back to hopefully get it on video. I keep forgetting. But when you're 61 years old, you forget a lot of things. All right. Okay, we got the template set up here so we can build our gambrel roof trusses. And as you can see, it's pretty easy once you mark it out here and then screw some boards in there. You just lay this down, butt your boards together, and then put your cutouts that you made for your gussets and glue them and screw them, and then you have to do it 7 times. And then the 2 end trusses only have to have the gussets on one side because you're going to put your exterior on this. Like this would be the end. You just raise it up, and that would be, you just turn it around because we have gussets on this side here, so use it for the back wall. And that's what I'm building next. So once I get that done, I'll start the video again and continue on. But we got the 10 by 12 deck built here. That's why you do the roof next after you build the deck, so you can mark it off and build your roof sections, have those ready, so when the walls go up, then you can set these on top. As you can see right here, this will be sitting right on the walls, your side walls here. So pretty cut and dried. All right. Yep, got rain today, so framed a couple of walls and stood them up. That's again 24-inch centers for this 10 by 12 gambrel shed, and basically I'd be out here working more, but it's fixing to come a downpour, and but basically we lay like that wall right there is standing up. That's the side wall for here. So we just laid, I just stuck it up there to where it wouldn't be laying down here and cause puddles. But when the rain subsides, we'll lay that down and deck it, and then we'll just slide it over the edge here and then connect it to that corner there. If you see the top plate up there, it's shortened on the end wall so that the side wall continues there, the top plate there, so it will interlock. The corners interlock there. There's only one stud for each corner, so you have to decide where you're going to put it on, the end walls or the side walls. You don't have any sheetrock in here, so there's no need for tripling up a corner. It's not a house, it's a shed. And basically it's the same way Tough Shed builds theirs. So it's a savings on the 2x4s since you're on 24-inch centers. As you can see, normally you'd need quite a few more. I got 44 studs cut at 7.5 feet for this 10 by 12. So 44, and the last one that I did, which is the one on the other wall side here, I did that on 16-inch centers, and I used like 70 studs. So quite a difference. There's 30 studs difference probably between the two, but the only thing with building these is you got your end wall. You don't have any support there temporarily until you clasp the other wall to it. So yeah, so it's kind of flimsy there when you're building it, but once you put your end wall on there, it'll cap it off and it'll tie together. That top plate up there, as you can see, has a little spot for the. So we're gonna get some rain here, and that's why I stopped. But I was gonna set the camera up, but I didn't want it out here in the rain. So what we're gonna do is just wait for the rain a couple of days. But we've got these two walls up. Yeah, here it's coming now. The rain's starting to come down. We've covered things with plastic so it wouldn't ruin our deck and our material. And so we got the end wall and the side wall up, 24-inch centers, so that you don't have a double 2x4 on each corner. You don't run into that. You just put one on one side, and then like the end walls, they've got the corner 2x4s, and then the side walls don't have any 2x4s on the corners. It all ties into that one piece. And up at top there, you'll see that it's got a lap joint there for the top plate. It's going to lay on top of this end wall, and like it did on the back there, the side wall lays on top of the end wall, so that you can interlock these pretty good that way. And so when the rain stops, we'll be back at it, and hopefully we can set the camera up and it'll show us building these two walls. The this end wall here is going to have a 4x6 door in it, so we'll go ahead and frame that in while we're framing it. That wall, that's the side wall right there. I've just got it tied up to that other wall so it wouldn't lay down here and pool up with water. So it's just nailed up to that other wall, but it would just lay down, and then we would deck it. Once we decked it, we'd just bring it up like that and tie it into the back wall, and then we'd build our end wall and stand it up, and we're done. We got the roof trusses already. I put them in the shop so they wouldn't get wet, but they're built. There's 7 of those, and if you checked out the first video, you'd see us laying those out when we built the floor. Okay, see you after the rain. Well, it's Saturday and it's supposed to rain all day, so Friday, in between the rains, I put this wall here on the left up, and they're not really all plumbed yet. They're just kind of hanging there, bracing themselves against the stormy weather. Right now I got to pull this plastic off and sweep the water off this plywood, and want to get some roof trusses on there and just carpet it and tarp it from the top there instead of the floor. See if we can't keep the rain off of that. And in the meantime, if it doesn't come a downpour, I'm going to build this end wall right on the floor there and then pull it out and slap it to the front here. But I'll do that here after I get the walls plumb in the back. The corners, they're not just quite plumb, so gonna line them up real good, and we'll move on from there. Alright, we decided to put some trusses up there so that we could cover it with plastic up there. The floor is getting soaked, and we'll just when it starts raining, I'll throw some plastic up there, and that way it won't rain on the floor. But right now we're going to build the end wall, and there's the bottom plate for the end wall there. We build it like this so we have room, and then we'll slide it out and stand it up. That way it'll be squared up, and then we'll make the side walls here move, plumb these up as long as we got a square end wall. But we got to frame out a door, a 4x6 door, so we'll do that, and then side it, put the siding on it, and stand it up, nail it to it. Then we'll probably put the plastic on top and be done for the day. It could pour down any minute. Alright, we're building the end wall here. Rain's held up so that we've got the end wall laying here. We're going to side it. Put a header right there about 6 foot. When you're my size, you don't need more than 6 feet to clear. So once we square this up, this floor, we're gonna tilt it up like this and slide it out until we get it to connect both sides. So that'll be here in a second. We got the roof trusses up and braced, and if we have time today, we'll do plastic up there, depending on the time, or we'll start decking it with OSB. Hello. Yep, we got the end wall in. Cut a 4x6 opening for the door. We've got it covered now because of the rain. So we covered up the rooftop a bit, and it's going to probably not hold, but it's drizzling right now, so hopefully it'll be done with all this by tomorrow. I'll start decking the thing, and have to build a scaffold and put it on this wall. Just a couple of step ladders and some boards across there so I can get up there and reach to nail the roof on. But I have a couple of extension ladders you can lean up there too, so they work as well, just to climb up and down. And build the support structure that's right there on the gable end there on each end. Or if it's a gambrel roof, maybe it's called a gambrel end, but the gable end front and back, put some supports up there, and then side it as well. So yep, that'll come next, and then the roof actually. So probably tomorrow I'll be out here working and put some we'll frame those ends in and cut some skin to put on it later. How much room do we need in the 10 by 12 storage? When they're empty, they seem quite large. This is the doorway, and if I stand in the doorway, there's lots of space, especially when you can go 8 foot up and put a deck right at the top plate, come out 4 foot. That is 40 square feet more, 120 feet on the ground, 120 square feet, and then put a 4 foot section here, which would be to that joist there across. That's another 40 square feet, so 200 square feet of workable space here for storage. 120 on the ground and 80 on top, and then you could actually come across halfway, build you another, link those two lofts together and come over about half of it, which would be another 20 square feet. Yeah, so lots of room up top, and that's why I've always loved these type of buildings. You can put a gable roof on there and a low pitch and make it easy to build. Less material, less time, less money, but you don't get the same storage ability as you do with the Gambrel. This barn style is the way to go. We've already got one that's full. Now we're going to finish this one and fill it up. So tomorrow I'm going to work on those studs that go on the ends, and we'll be skinning that front there. I want to get a Z-bar, I think that's what they call it, flashing, to run across there where the two pieces come together on the outside, and that way it'll shed water and not get any in the inside. But yeah, tomorrow it's not supposed to rain, so I'll be out here. We're going to have this roof deck tomorrow, so it's taken so long because of the weather. It's been so bad. I hate working in the rain. Otherwise I would I'd definitely have this already finished. It's about a three-day job for a couple of skilled workers, so 3 days, 8-hour days. So yep, pretty easy really once you've done it a few times. I hate my floor being wet though. I just want to get it to dry, and we had plastic laying over, but it just seeps everywhere. So that's why I want to get these trusses up here and try to get a cover on it to keep some of that water out. See you tomorrow. Okay, it looks like the rain has finally let up. We got the end wall on, and we've got the roof decking on. Got some Z-bar right there above the door for the transition, and we got some 2x4s for the trim, which kind of extends the roof a little bit like an overhang. So here on the sides I'll be needing to put some roof flashing on there, and then also flash all the way around the perimeter of the gable end there. So, and of course I got to build the 2 doors. Inside there's I don't know if you can see inside here, but there's a couple of lofts and some space in between where I can access, and then got to close these ends off. But it's a 24-inch center, and it's 10 by 12, so there's plenty of room and a lot of overhead storage. On the floor there's 120 square feet of space, and up in the attic there's 4 10-foot spaces, so 80 square feet in all up top, which makes this 200 square feet of storage. Today I'll be going up to put some felt on the roof after I put the flashing on, and then I'll start putting shingles on. How do you put shingles on one of these type of roofs? The best way is to reach up about 6 feet or so and nail you a 2x4 that comes out and then has a vertical 2x4 beside it, and do one on each end, and then lay a couple of these long ladders across there, and then on top of that you put some narrow strips of leftover material to walk on, and you're able to easily reach those areas that and roof them without being on going up and down a ladder. So that's what I did on the other one, is built a little platform walkway on each side, and it really made a difference. I think I built it about a foot below that edge right there. So I'll show you a picture of the one I'm going to do. So got the roof on, we've got the flashing on, and we've got the doors created and made and hung, and we're using the exact same hardware we used on the last one so that they actually match. As you can see, this one here needs painted. Got the shingles and flashing and trim on with the 1x4s on the corners, and then we need to put a vent in the both ends at the top like you see on the one on the right, and build a little step for it. But it's in the dry, and it's primered siding, so that smart siding, and really just need to put a coat of paint on the 2x4 that is used for the door and the trim, and then spray paint it like we did the other one, the same color. They're both the exact same size, they're both the exact same shape. They're actually in line with each other, as I string lined off of the front and the back of the one on the right and created the pattern, and where I was going to set this one on the left, shed 2, and one looks a little bigger than the other, but it's maybe because it's not painted or the color or the where I'm standing at the angle, but they're exact 10x12s, both of them. Exactly the same cuts were made, and it was a duplication of the first one. As you can see, the concrete block that I have underneath the treated 4x4s, and there's gravel underneath these for drainage, so but these are easy to go back and shim up if you get one end that drops down a little bit. But you don't have to build a concrete foundation like everyone says, or drop piers down below the frost line. It's a shed, it's not a house, and these are actually easy to re-support if need be, and if I'm going to be here for 20 years, then probably be fine. The project came along good without a hitch, and just need some paint and fill it up with stuff. Thank you.